You may have heard in sales trainings over the years to get a yes, get a little yes, 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 and then you ask them to buy the system and they say, well, yes, because they're used to saying yes. But remember this, not only is that old teaching that maybe sometimes still works, especially if it's a non confrontational question. In other words, like, do you enjoy living in the area? That's an easy thing that they can answer yes to. How many grandkids do they have, or whatever? That's easy question for them to answer. But you know what also is a very easy question to answer? Is something that they can say no to. Why? Because yeses sometimes make them feel guarded. Yeses sometimes will make them feel like they're being trapped. Like, I don't want to answer yes to this necessarily because I feel like I'm committing to something. So, one of the things you can do is like when you show them our product lines, you can ask them, hey, does protecting your family with this kind of a system, is that crazy? Is this crazy? Is this stupid? And it's easy for them to say, well, no, it's not crazy. And see, so you can kind of get them warmed up to the idea without asking them a yes or no question where you're expecting them to say yes. So Chris Voss, one of the most famous FBI negotiators, he would negotiate bank robberies with, well, obviously bank robbers that had hostages. And that might be the most intense sale that you could possibly think of. And this is what he concentrated on, was not trying to get the bank robbers to say yes to things, but he would actually ask him questions like that. Hey, would letting one hostage go, would that be out of the line? Is that crazy? Is that stupid? So remember, this is kind of one of the fun ways you can kind of get people to answer the question. Now, by the way, if you're asking questions and people are not giving you an answer, A, they might think it's a rhetorical question, or B, they're uncomfortable answering that question, which is why you don't want to ask too many confrontational questions in the beginning, especially.